speaking of end, we were talking about we're in the 9th year, right? We're going into this 9th cycle of completion. This is why I'm telling. It's so funny that you're saying this way, because I'm like like in the Bible it says that the resurrection, right? The dead will. What is it in the last days? I can't say verbatim, but the point of it is the dead will be raised again, right?
Correct.
And we'll all be going through this judgment. So I'm like, I think everybody is here, right? And the resurrection is the awakening to the consciousness of realizing that we've been asleep this whole time in a way, or we've been under a coma, we've been under a spell that has us like robots. Many of us, we've been living a robotic life up until 2020 when the world stopped, literally. And then people got off the hamster wheel and started realizing, and you had no choice but to start really going within anyway. So when you say, when I asked you, if the Bible was literal or metaphorical, and you leaning more towards it being literal, I lean more towards it. It's something that's been, because a lot of those books were taken from other books, taken from other books, taken from other books. Stories that have been told orally or passed down from societies or cultures for thousands of years. Some books are missing. Some
Correct.
books are still there. You can still use it as a guide. But ultimately, let me ask you, if you were deaf, you blind, you couldn't hear, speak, or know anything, would you still know? Like, would you still have the connection?
Absolutely.
I see.
Absolutely.
The
Yeah.
best,
You
the
know,
best.
there's a research that came out talking about kids with autism can communicate telepathically.
Yes.
Just because somebody has a disability does not mean that they don't have a special ability.
Okay, now hold on. Let me get you a hand clap for that one. That was good. Yes, sir. That was dope. I agree. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I can have a little outburst here and there, but continue, please.
Oh no, I was just agreeing to your point and what you said about, um, coming back into the earth or reincarnation. I think that's very true. I think we've all been here before and we're just trying to find our way.
Right.
This is the great awakening,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. This is the resurrection, in my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. It's not law, but we're resurrecting to who we are, our divine selves. Many feel that we're morphing into crystalline bodies. I mean, there's so many theories that's going out there. We're gonna get superpowers, but there are people that are developing telepathy, telekinesis. You see it every day. People on this app alone, that are doing some phenomenal things. So there is something about us, this human body, that has this potential that we haven't even reached yet. I don't even think so. I don't think we've tapped in, especially if we're not even using the majority of the percentage of our brain. So who's to say we can't elevate? Who's to say we can't uh move things with our minds? And who's to say we don't have this superpower that's within us that hasn't been activated yet? Because we've all been somewhat under a coma. Like, we've been asleep. I wouldn't say a coma, that's kind of harsh. We've been kind of asleep to our divine selves. So now things are being lifted. We're seeing different things. We're hearing different things. We're witnessing. We can't even eat some of the foods we used to eat before. Like, we're changing. There's something about the those of us on this planet. We're changing consciously, physically, spiritually. Um,
Yeah.
we're
May I say
changing.
this?
Yes, sir.
Everybody knows Dr. Sebi, right?
Yes, sir.
He's known through history as the man who cured AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever thought in their lifetime that somebody could cure something like that, but here he is, and he
Right.
did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so when it comes to these things, it's all types of special abilities and things that people can do. It's just you got to tap in, you got to find it.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Brother Awaken X, come on in here, sir. Come on in here. Turn your mic on. How are you doing today?
I'm doing lovely, Queen. How are you?
I'm fantastic. You know, every time you come across my feed, I get this big old smile on my face. I do. I do. You a special kind of guy. So listen, I mean, let me see what he talking about today. That's my friend.
Right, right.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, I was listening to you talk earlier, and I'm just basing this off my own spiritual experiences,
Yes, sir.
especially like when I go to sleep. I travel. It is not something I try to do. This is just what I experience. And so when we're talking flat earthers and we're talking about people saying up and over.
Uh-oh. I knew this was gonna be good. They don't cut you off. I think you blocked out, sir. Are you still there?
I am.
Okay, great.
Are we,
You
hear me?
blanked out
Okay.
for a little bit, but
Yeah.
repeat what
Okay.
you said. You go ahead,
No.
continue.
Okay. What I was saying was I heard the conversation about flat earthers and all the other etc. or whatever out there, and I think that we spend a lot of time. I'm just basing off of things that I've experienced through my own spiritual journey. Like I take flight when I go to sleep, and I don't even try. It's just something that happens to me, and I think there's a few movies out there like John Carter, Stargate, even Sonic the Hedgehog. They throw those little rings out, and
Yeah.
then you walk in one area, and the next thing you know, you in another.
Mm.
I think we need to focus more on the through and
Ooh.
not the up and over and up and unders. And I'm a follower of Christ. You know, I'm a follower of Yeshua
Mm-hmm.
because I think like light workers we grew up in religious programs. So my dad was, and not was, he is a pastor, and so studying the Bible and everything of that was my whole paradigm shift. But when I went through this massive awakening,
Uh-huh.
I was shown things that wasn't making sense to me. And so I had to kind of like piece all this together. And so if I could add anything to the conversation tonight,
Yeah.
is when you see movies like Stargate,
Mm-hmm.
when you see movies like John Carter, when they're going through point A and then they ended up in point C, that that's the type of stuff that I think they don't really focus on.
Mm.
And I think we're going to see more of that. We're going to see more of this conversation
Oh yeah.
about the beyond in the
Mm-hmm.
skies or whatever some of it might be to scare us. Some of it, in my opinion, is because there's a good chance that through that I'm talking about it might show up in the sky in a way. And a lot of this is going to uptick, especially in the month of January, because we have an inauguration going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. So if I could just add anything to the conversation tonight and not take away from anything anyone said, it's just, think about going through. And when we
Yeah.
see Stargate and when we see Sonic the Hedgehog, as silly as it is, there's a universal principle they have to show you. They have to show you. And if you don't really believe in it, okay, cool. But those portals and things like that, when they announce that the Pope is opening a portal, that 1,000 priests is doing reverse Latin and things like that, they have to throw it out there. And then people make fun of it and say, "Oh, nah, it's nothing. It's just he just opened a holy door, whatever." But if you educate yourself, and that's the thing as a light worker, I grew up in that biblical system, so
Mm.
I understand the Bellicia. I understand Constantine and the Pope and everything that's going on there. I understand the symbols on his attire because I've seen them spiritually and I know what they mean. So I would tell people focus on the through, not above, not below, and all this other. whatever. Because I went and watched a movie. I can't remember what this movie was called. It was an old movie, but it was like made in the 1930s, and they're showing you a globe. Like they got satellites. They know exactly what the globe's like, and I'm like, that's really weird to me. But I don't get caught up in those ups and downs. But I remember like when you sent me the live, and you said you want to talk about um, the drones,
Yeah.
the possible UFOs and things that's got really people frightened. Like I had this conversation with a guy the other day, and he was like, "Oh no," I said, "You don't have a miniature sized bus drone floating over your home, so you can say that because you comfortable.
Right.
But you let one of them jokers fly over my house, I'm in a different space."
Right. Right.
Uh,
Right.
right. So I just wanted to add to what you're doing. I love you, Mama T. You
I
know
love you
this.
too. But I want to ask you a question though. Since you studied, you have background. What exactly is the Pope doing? Like from what your perspective, from what you know, from your background, what is the point of him doing this? Of
I
this
think
opening this portal?
it's a power grab
Mm.
because if we go all the way back to the Tower of Babel and we understand the Seal of Suleiman, we understand witchcraft, and we understand the sacrificing of children. That's why I'm a big XRP investor. I believe that once it puts it on the blockchain, this corruption where you could just buy children and stuff in the dark, it can't happen. So when you understand Apollo and the Romans, we think the Romans failed. The whole Rome failed. Well, actually, in my opinion, it became the Roman Catholic Church,
Yes,
and
sir.
so,
Hold on.
and we see that.
I need a sound effect. But go ahead. Yes, sir. I agree with that.
Right, we see that in the and with Constantine, and
Mm.
so the same place where he's opened these portals and things of that nature is the same place that Constantine supposedly gave the Pope power, and then we see them morph into their dependence on the Rothschild banking system after Martin Luther said that you're justified by faith. You don't have to, because most people was illiterate back then, so they were giving coins and stuff, but that was under the Fugger family banking system. Once Martin Luther came out and said, "Hey, you're not justified by paying the Pope money. You're justified by just asking for forgiveness, your faith alone." That was detrimental to the banking system. This is when we see the Phoenician Canaanites really morph out of the Roman Catholic Church and into the Britain Empire and become a bank. So you have this bank, this massive banking system, and the Roman Catholic Church working one and two, and then they've infiltrated everything. That's the matrix.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just I just want to add my two
Okay.
cents.
Well,
You
I
sent my
appreciate your dollar, honey. You brought a dollar to the table. Thank you. I love
I
this
love it. I
gentleman. Y'all
love it.
make sure y'all go follow Awaken X. He drops a lot of information. I want to stay on a little bit because Lisa's on here. I'm gonna bring her on in a second after I talk to the other two guests because she connect you. I want to talk a little bit about XRP and how this connects a lot of things too because many people don't know. So if you can stick around for a little bit, I want to bring you back
I'll be
on.
glad to.
Okay,
I'll be glad
and we're
to.
going to
I'll
talk
be
a little
glad
bit
to.
about that, how this connects to everything celestial as well, because people need to know the spiritual side of this thing, and we don't know. So I like to provide the platform for the folks in the back. Okay, so the folks in the back can really like get a holistic approach to what's going on. It's just not a horror show. Okay, it's just not something for you to be intimidated by or scared by, because when the powers that be are pushing a lot of fear, that means you're this close to your breakthrough. This is kind of how I feel about it. If anyone is scared, they are, because it's a change. We're witnessing the switch, the change, and the shift of the guards, so to speak, and they're terrified. Whereas
Absolutely.
humanity is now about to be liberated and free from this matrix. So hold tight. I want to get back on with you, but I want to open up the line to Sister Chief. You've been sitting here for a minute. You have anything to add to the conversation? You can unmute your microphone.
Yeah, oh, thank you. I do. Man, what a great conversation. I'm
I
just
say,
excited to be in here if it's just for 5 minutes,
come
but
on in here.
I watch you quite a bit. I
Thank
enjoy you.
you.
I think you're beautiful.
Thank you.
I have I watched a movie that came very close to where we are in this I can't think of the name of the movie, but this man said to the priest, he who holds the keys of the universe rules the world. But we are those keys. And so their fear is that we're coming out of our dormant state.
Oh,
We are remembering,
come
and it
on.
is because of the cosmos.
I got
No, I
you.
really feel great. So we're coming into a time of release, but even before that happens, we're going to come into a very, very powerful quickening. And I was just talking to somebody else and telling them, look, they said, well, what is your DNA? I said, well, if we are really what we think we are, we don't have DNA. What we do have, though, is a universal makeup, because we are her, but we are here because of the war. And in that war, we sat on the fence and didn't choose. And that's how we ended up here.
Back again.
Yep. That's how we ended up here, because we're on a 9,000 year cycle, which would be really like 9 days. Well, they have us on a 7-day
7 day,
cycle
right.
here, but we're really on a 9-day cycle.
Okay, girl,
So now
drop
what
it.
I know for us is that a lot of us come from Cirrus. So that's why we're on the 9 days, because the cycle is faster. Does it make
Girl,
sense?
I got to follow you because you talking my language right here. Yes, serious,
Yeah,
serious,
so we're going to
serious.
be released from this planet, which is a way station. It's supposed to be, that's why they come here to get gold. It constantly replenishes
Yes, it
itself.
does. Everything.
But now what they really want to do is they are chemically compounding it, because many of them, when this reset happens, a reset is the original program, not a new one. Some of them will go back to being, I think some of them will go back to being plants, some of them will go back to being animals, and that is what they're fighting
Going back to the original selves.
to their original selves. And so they don't want that to happen, because we're in we are interconnected with the planet and the
Yes, we
universe.
are.
That's the Trinity,
I
really.
say,
Yeah.
I
So
say, this
once
planet is alive.
living, we're
Yeah, it got a
interconnected.
heartbeat and everything.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
A
It got
womb.
chakras, everything. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for letting me up, you
Oh,
guys.
sister,
I'm really
thank you for.
enjoying it.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you for stepping up here and sharing your piece, sister. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. All right, now, sister. How do you say your name, child? I gotta click on here. I am not gonna. I'm gonna say vegan, Miss Vegan. You got some extra
Hi,
letters
MahMah
in your name,
Tea.
baby. Hey, boo, how you doing today?
I'm a fan from YouTube, and I am grading
Okay.
yourself, Alafia.
Alafia.
Yes, so I
Oh.
came in on the part when they were talking about orbs, but
Mm-hmm.
everything just was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. As I'm listening, I'm trying
Yeah.
to take note. But I love that Chief was saying her for Earth. I get big on that as far as God being her and woman. I
I
wanted
say.
to chime in on the orb.
Mm-hmm.
When I was about 16 or so, 16 years old, I had a dream. I jumped out of my bed, and the first thing I did, I went to the mirror, but I didn't have my body. I was only the orb.
Wow.
These little orbs that everyone sees floating around.
Light bodies.
Yes, so it was a beautiful color. I won't say which, being that it's, TikTok, and I don't know if that's my identity for real, because I would believe that identity before this identity. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, your
So,
light body.
what if that color was, my identity, the orb You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, sis. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
So, and
Your
then Chief,
light.
yes, Chief spoke on fear. No, you mentioned fear. You were like they. That's the biggest thing. When I see all of this going on in the news and everybody's in fear, oh, it's orbs everywhere. I just laugh inside because I'm like, oh my God, it's time, and they are really scared, and they're just
Yeah.
doing anything to the
Right.
point.
Pulling
Oh,
out.
let's have a drone show. Come out, let's have a drone show. So you know,
They
they're
pulling out
just
all the
finding any
stops.
little thing to distract us, and the things that they're finding are literally little. Like people, you know, oh, you got your little car. No, this is literally like little. Like you got these little drones out here trying to block orbs.
Right. So, it's like, right. It's like bringing out a Tonka toy with a spaceship. You know what I mean? It's that's
Yes.
interesting that you said it that way, because I've always said whatever on this how we're doing right here. Uh-oh, they about to close the line. Hold on, y'all. I got to do a little something here. TikTok is saying I have to do this puzzle in order to extend this live. So hold on, I got to play the little puzzle game.
Okay.
They're saying inactivity. I don't know. We talking all of got guests down here, and it says this live will be cut off due to inactivity if I don't. I don't know. But anyway, we're good. We're good.
This
Um,
live is jumping.
this live
Yes.
is
So you
popping.
mentioned ships, and I wanted to note that too because we often look around and look up for UFOs, and I've seen activity. Like I've seen activity. Literally, I stay by a private airport, and there were like mini UFOs that look like computer mouses that will go over the houses late at night. So I'm like, are
Ooh,
they collecting dreams or what?
ooh.
However, yeah, because it was late night, and it's like, what are you doing? People are sleeping, and we tried to
uh,
capture it. We
you
tried.
hey, I'm telling you, because last night I'm telling you I had a dream and I didn't know if I was in a dream or if it was real. These past two,
Yeah,
3 nights, my dreams been litty, where I couldn't decipher if it was a dream or if it was real until I asked myself in the dream, how'd I get here? Because it's not.
yeah.
Then I became consciously aware that it was a dream, and then you know, but
And I guess that's our way
listen.
around this navigation to question things. Because even your face expression when you said, "How did I get here?" it just highlighted questioning things. And you know, when you start questioning things, all of the veils start breaking.
Right, right,
So
right,
even your expression, like even if you didn't say how did I get here, that face expression alone is like words breaking a veil. That you know what I'm saying? How they say looks can cut.
right,
Like
right.
the face
Absolutely.
expression that you made on your face alone,
Mm-hmm. Was enough.
it could just break a code that's trying to,
Ooh, this sister, what's your
deceive
sign?
you.
What's your
I'm a
sign?
Taurus. I'm a
Oh,
big
okay.
bull. I'm a Taurus.
You said you were what, girl?
A big bull, big bull.
Okay.
I'm a gentle giant though.
Gentle
I'm
Giant.
cool.
Amazon in the building. Shout out to the Amazons in the building. We need the Amazons to come back. All right. Well, thank you for sharing your piece, sister. I appreciate that. If you want to
All
stick
right.
around a little bit, you are welcome
Yes, I
to.
am. It was nice talking to you, Mama T. I
It was
love
nice
you
talking to you
again to the
too.
whole chat.
I
Okay.
say peace.
Okay.
Man, this build is popping. I really appreciate everybody up in the building, expressing what they feel and what they see. Everyone has their truth, right? And this is how we get our whole truth, by putting together our pieces of our puzzle, right? Because we all have a story, and we're all a part of this story. We're all writing this script as we speak. We're witnessing these things. Everyone has their own vantage point of what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, and it's true for you and what you're going through. And all this, the conversations that we're having today is going to help somebody get through this, because for me, I'm coasting, honey. I'm just cruise control over here. I'm not tripping on this stuff. I'm not losing my mind. Like, people are like scared, and it's like you can't be afraid of what you agreed to be a part of. All right? I believe you wouldn't be on this planet if you didn't agree to this. You didn't agree to be a part of this transfer, this shift, like Brother Awakeness, this moving through, this going through this portal. We're going through this portal, whether you like it or not, or you gonna keep your ass here and deal with whatever that Pope dealing with. Okay, so you're gonna have to just come to grips with your soul and your spiritual quest, your journey, and embrace it. You know what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What you finna do? You're gonna have to understand it and see where you fit into this thing. And if it's causing you fear, then you're gonna have to go and dig a little deeper and get to the root of your fears, because many of us grew up in some sort of religious organization, and the main thing they taught you is the only thing to fear is God, right? And that you should fear no man or anything like that. But when you're faced with something, everybody gets terrified because you're operating from the body, right? The flesh. You're not operating from the soul. Because if you are, then you gotta know that your soul is immortal. You're everlasting, right? You're not gonna. This is just a part of this journey. You're more than your body. Okay, you're a lot more than your body. In transcendence, this is a part of this journey. Is transcendence. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna open up to my homie Stromy Macaroni. Miss I Am God Frequency is in the building. Come on in here, girl. Open up, open up. Turn your mic on. You've been sitting back patiently waiting.
Hey sis, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm awesome.
I know you are.
Hello to everyone on the panel as well. You
Uh,
got some awesome people up here tonight, I see.
we just this attraction. Oh no, I'm resonating. Shout out, I'm resonating out here.
Well, you could say attraction. I'm cool with that.
So what's up? What you
So,
got for us today, Miss I Am God Frequency? Well, matter of fact, tell everybody who you is for those in the back who don't know, and what you do, and what would you like to contribute to the conversation today?
okay, well, I am God frequency and I deal with all things frequency, healing, um, realigning your life, anything dealing with frequency. um, Esoteric knowledge and wisdom, all of the above. Just helping the collective,
Helping us get over this
staying
hump
on the
right here.
grid. Yeah, pretty much. Um, but I'm just here to support you, of course, and
Thank
to
you.
support the collective. I know people are seeing a lot of different things, and there's so much information out there. But one thing that I can just say to people is to start going within.
I
You
hear
have to
you.
go within. A lot of us are putting our 2 cents in and we're hoping that we're right, you know. But in order for you to start getting aligned with all the things that are going on, you have to start going within. That's one of the um, best advice that I could give
Mm-hmm.
the collective is you have to start going within. So much misinformation out there.
It's
We
like
all
the
think that we're
ego.
correct. Well, we are all correct
We have
with the
we all have.
information and the knowledge that we have available to us.
Yeah, we have
But
pieces. Everyone has a piece to this story.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
we're all pages in this book that we're writing
Hmm.
again, right? And someone else will be calling it something else. It will be, it'll be another sacred book. So
Hmm.
we continue on this. Everything is cycles. Um,
Hmm.
I wanted to tie this into, let's lift the vibration. Let's raise the vibe a little bit. Let's raise the frequency, because some of
Hmm.
us know we galactic beings out here. Like some of us know we're
Absolutely.
connected. We're connected on high. Okay, meaning that
Hmm.
we know we are the universe, right? We know that we are manifestations of the creator itself. walking
Mm-hmm.
around here. Now, some people misconstrue that concept as thinking that
Mm-hmm.
you know, we're superior or anything. This is what it means to me. I think all the Bibles, all the stories and all the sacred texts are talking about you, right? They're talking about giving
Mm-hmm.
you examples of you. It giving everyone can see their story written in these texts. Everyone goes through. This is why it's such. The book has ways to help you get through things because these are experiences that you're gonna go through while you're on this plane, right? And it always ends the same, victorious, right? The war we won, right? We know how the story
Mm-hmm.
go, right? We know how this thing finna
Yeah, we
turn
won
out, right?
already.
So what people tripping about, right? Because we know at the end how the story ends. It ends with
Mm-hmm.
victory. So and there are those, this is what I'm saying, there's many people that are here for the fall, maybe because of karmic energies that you have to work out, right? So we go through these
Right.
traumas and these situations to burn off that heavy karmic energy that we all have karma. No one is like free from karma. If they are, they're like you tripping. And we all have some things we have to work through, and Earth is one of the places to work through them. And many people, after you work through them, then you would probably be put in a role or position to help with restoration, right? To help with
Mm-hmm.
rebuilding. And many of us see the future. This is why I wanted to keep the brother
Right.
awake and X on here. We see, I see these cities. I see the Emerald cities. I see the Golden City. I see us finally
When you see the
free.
crystal cities.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like we can see it. It's
The
like
pyramid
clear.
cities.
Right. So um
Mm-hmm.
I like how he ties XRP into this. And the reason why I
Mm-hmm.
wanted you to stay on and bring him back on is because I remember you saying something about your what did you say? You are the currency, right? Your
Right.
frequency is the currency. And he said something in
Yeah.
one of his shorts or whatever they call it, or reels, or he said something about that. You said that too, Awaken, about frequency and currency. And you'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to walk into places, and by your frequency you'll be able to get
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that you want. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, they get it. You know, like we can see that. Some people can't see. All people can see is a war and ending and that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are those that are here and even in this chat right now that are futuristic, can see a whole galactic world, the connection, like you had said,
Interconnectedness.
interconnectedness, right?
Interstellar.
I say,
Mm-hmm.
and when he said about going through, focus on going through, right? And so some of us have codes. We are the keypad, so to speak.
Yeah, we
Uh,
have our DNA code to unlock these stargates and these portals, and yeah,
shit.
we're
Go
genetically
ahead, talk
coded.
about it. Go ahead, talk about it. This, I
Mm-hmm.
get excited though. This is kind of conversations because it's like we put limits on our potentials, our soul and spirit, right? And I think when you do that, you're selling yourself short. And like I have my mission, you have your mission. We all have our individual missions to do certain things because if I look at it this way, if I didn't do what I was told to do, I may not have touched someone to unlock someone that may be responsible for opening a way for others to help go through. And same for you. If you didn't go through the things that you go through to put you in the position where you are in, you are unlocking people to go through certain their own gateways and their own portals. Like we all have these roles to play to really help others get through these times and unlock. You call them activate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You help activate, right? And I hope
Mm-hmm.
I try to ignite, and everyone else do whatever it is that they do. I'm not really I respect people, you know, with their religion and things like that. But I believe it's bigger than religion. I believe religion is institutionalized, but spirituality is divine, though. Like your connection to
It's from the
source in
soul.
all
Mm-hmm.
things, right? We're all interconnected in some way. and the trick was to get us all battling with each other because
Mhm.
whatever's going on now. I was talking about Delbert Blair earlier, right? He was giving little warnings about be mindful of the first wave. Put it this way, like, 'cause they may not be who you think they are. And when you look at the players in the game that's front and center right now, especially if it's government and media and whatever they're dictating, you know, it's like, for me, it's like, it's what's behind that that I kind of pay attention to. But at this point in time, with all of this, like if you're used to seeing orbs and you're used to seeing, you've been connected for a while, it's not a big deal for you. But a lot of people that they've been living in denial of this, like
Mhm.
they never thought any of this stuff was real, even though they show you in movies, and this is how they disclose information to get you, I guess, get you desensitized to whatever we're witnessing. They disclose all of this stuff in movies, but they're getting this information from somewhere, right?
Right.
To write these movies. So I guess what I want to connect you to too is how does cryptocurrency, because you had broke this down before, you called it cryptography, and he said it not too long ago too, cryptography,
Mhm.
play a role, not like just the Bitcoin and all that, but just the names of some of them like Stella Lumen,
Mhm.
Ethereum, you know,
Mhm.
Ripple,
The ethers.
Ether. It's
Mhm.
like how, these things are connecting us to something, how can
Intergalactic,
Ashe, intergalactic.
interstellar.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, uh, where you want me to
Yeah,
start? With the orbs first or
wherever
the
you, honey, wherever,
crypto?
wherever, wherever you feel like you can start. I know I threw a
I'm
lot
gonna
out
start
there,
with the
but
orbs.
yes, ma'am.
So I know with the orbs, I started seeing the orbs 3 years ago,
Mm.
but I call them chariots,
Ooh.
um, because they start showing up, like in my backyard. I would see them like floating around my home. Um, at the time, I was trying to start gardening, and I would see them there the most in that area of my backyard because it was more elemental, wanted me to know that, that they were there. I would see them kind of like start off as small and then they would grow bigger. And then over a period of time, I was like, man, let me start letting people know that the orbs are here. And the orbs, I'm just going to tell you the downloads that I receive and what
Okay.
I feel that they are. And you guys can just take it for whatever resonate with you, you take it, and what don't, then you just leave it on the table. But as time went by, I started seeing them grow bigger. They started off kind of small, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, maybe my blood pressure, up, maybe I'm seeing things. Let me go check." And I'm like, "No, I'm seeing this in the spirit realm," and they grew bigger
Mm.
and bigger. And one day I was doing a healing video, and one showed up in my bathroom. It was just floating because I work with the angels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they were just floating. And I was like, okay, this is a thing. So I could start going within and asking Source, what is it that I was seeing? And I hadn't gotten an answer in like over a year, but those orbs would never leave.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, through meditation, I was shown that they were thrones. Throne, yeah, they were throne angels. Um, this is how Source was showing them to me. And I was like, wow, this has to be what it is. I think I mentioned this to you when we were talking. Um, so when you're dealing with the throne angels, they come for justice and authority. And the time that we're in, that's what we need in our current reality, right?
Right.
But then I start seeing other angels. I start seeing other orbs, and I start going within, and like source told me that those were dominions, angels of dominions. We talked about this. And I'm like, oh wow. And the dominion angels show up as orbs, and they oversee other angels, making sure that the task is being done. Um,
Wow. That's
so
deep.
the more I went within, then I start saying I need confirmation as to what I'm seeing, and I start calling them chariots because they start popping up. All in my videos. If you go on my page right now, you'll see them. Whatever video I tell you that the chariots are here, they look like little spaceships.
Like Merkabas.
And huh?
Merkabas. Right.
Some people call them macabras. If you if you're tapped in the way you should be tapped in, I would say I don't want to. Yeah, I can't say that. I got to figure out a way to say it because it's too controversial. So what I'm gonna say is this. Some people are saying they're plasmoids. If you know what plasma is, if they want our plasma,
Mm.
I'm just gonna say all the connections are here. This is more so for us. You
Mm-hmm.
got 470 people in here, so I just want to. I'm gonna stay neutral for the sake of your TikTok channel. Um,
Girl, say what you gotta say, honey. This is an open forum because somebody may need to hear what you need to
um,
say.
well, what I want to say is this. Um,
Shama said, "Say it."
yeah, I want to say what I want to say is they're telling us that they're plasmoids.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I know they're not plasmoids.
Well, we know whatever they say ain't what
Right.
it is, right?
And people are buying into it. You guys go look up Dominions, Angels of Dominion, start there. Start there and then start meditating on it. And then everything that you thought you knew will change about what you're seeing in our current reality. There's a switch happening, and there's energy, rainbow frequencies that are pouring into our planet right now. And I talked about Stargate 11. Stargate 11 has been open, but the energy is here because the beings are here to bring it in more.
How many? How
The
many?
veil,
How many Stargates are there?
there are a lot. There are multiple.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, I need to come on here and do a live with you about that.
We
Because
can
I'm
do it, honey.
definitely
Actually, we're
connected to
gonna
the
do that on.
Stargates.
That's gonna be the YouTube. Don't worry about it. I'm still. I told you I'm practicing. But
Okay.
when we do the YouTube part, this is all going to YouTube. But I want to go live on YouTube, and that's where you know, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
we
to
can
get on
definitely
there.
do it on YouTube
Yeah.
because so you got the willow. I'm gonna just tie it in right here. You got the willow, the new chip that's connected to Stargate 11.
And what? Okay, so I'm slow. Like for those of us that's slow, right? So help me
Stargate
out.
11
Yeah.
brings in a new form of knowledge and technology, which is 0 point energy.
Mm, shit. 0 point energy. What
Stargate
is?
11 is now open, so you'll start hearing them talk about, yeah, the name of it. The Stargate is called Willow Wisp, Willow of the
Absolutely.
Wisp, and it is connected to Stargate 11. They named their chip after Willow the Wisp. They named it Willow. They also named Firefox after a
I remember
Stargate
you was
called Fox
you was.
Fire. So this is where we are in our current
So this is
reality.
Google doing this, right?
This is Google, which brings in interstellar, interconnectedness, galactic. They're tapped in. Awaken is on here, and he knows exactly what I'm
Yeah,
talking
he's
about.
on
It's
P on
very
Pat.
few
Go ahead,
people.
Yeah.
Awaken. Come on in here. This is what I told you.
Okay.
It's
I wanted to get you
it's
two
very
together
few
for a long
people.
time ago. For a long time ago.
Yeah,
We had to get us
it's
three in this room.
it's
All right.
very few people that know about this kind of information,
Right.
but
Well,
it's true.
we know now. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I mean,
514 people in here. This is a secret. Don't tell nobody. But go ahead. Go ahead, y'all. Wait, go on. Let's see. Go on. What you got?
okay.
Piggyback
So,
on that.
all right. So at a ground level that
Hmm.
everyone can comprehend, okay? Your currency has a competitor. It's called BRICS, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the ground level, something that you can understand, there's a thing called XRP ledger.
Mm-hmm.
On
Hmm.
this ledger, they have created a new stable coin called Ripple Labs United States dollar.
Right.
XRP will serve as the mechanism to prevent spam. In other words, they're going to move your money at the speed of light, and it will be under the light under quantum consciousness. There will
That's
not
right.
be purchasing of children on the black market.
I say you
No,
shouldn't be no
no.
purchasing the children.
Because
Period. But go ahead.
no, this is on the blockchain. It's 100% transparency.
Transparent.
Transparency.
Right. So you
So
see
each
every.
so
Yeah.
each time these transactions take place, a little bit of XRP is used, and that's what's going to bring in the value when all these corporations, banks, um, businesses, etc., are forced. I'm going to add this: are forced to do this, and the reason why is
Yep.
because they are no longer, the old guard is not in control.
Right. Right.
Secondly,
Hmm.
secondly, if y'all have ever seen the movie Superman, where he gets rid of all the nuclear bombs all over the world. So the orbs are doing their
That's
job.
what the
They're doing their
they've been.
job. That's what
Yeah.
they're here
They've been
for.
doing that for a while though. As
Right, right,
yeah,
right. So
they've been
Yeah, but
deactivating.
people
Go ahead.
need to understand, understand
Yes, ma'am.
why those orbs are here. They need to understand why the angels of dominion are here, because they're on the job. And
amen.
a lot of star seeds
Mm,
are overworked right now, because you got so many people that don't know who they are. They haven't been awakened yet. So a lot of us are filling the gaps to try to get this job done. And you feel like you're being fast tracked, like you're not getting enough sleep, because time have been sped up.
right.
Um,
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Right. So
because it's time.
speaking of time being sped up, is this part of this CERN operation? Part of this Mandela effect is the Mandela effect like a glitch? Because if someone is running out of time, it would be like you said, the old guard, right?
Right, and that's why it's so important to understand XLM,
Mm,
because
Hmm.
XLM goes through. It's interstellar. It
mm.
goes through.
Interstellar.
XLM is stellar
Shout out
lumens.
to
It's
Stella.
interstellar.
Hmm.
This is when we, and so I was telling people when they dropped the new technology in 2020, that I was telling people in 2020, when the new technology starts to drop, you're going to see XLM come out like Jordan wearing the 45. Why am I saying that? Because it is the way that money will be transparent amongst peer to peers, but the
Peer to peer.
civilization as a whole goes interstellar and evolves to no longer even needing currency.
Wait,
We won't
So
need it.
can I
yeah,
ask a
this this
question real
this,
quick?
this is the jump start.
Can I ask a question just
Sure. Go ahead. What you got,
for
sir?
clarity? Are y'all vouching for cryptocurrency?
There's a difference between cryptography and cryptocurrency.
Now, stay right there. This is what I wanted you to explain both because people. This is. I'm glad you came in and asked that question, Rashad, and I'm glad you responded with that term because there is a difference, and many don't realize about the difference of when we say crypto because they're pushing crypto, 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 and not what is it? Cryptography. Is that
Cryptography.
cryptography? So
Yeah,
please explain that.
cryptography. Okay, so XRP, like I said, it's going to. I'm not making this up. XRP Ledger is real. XRP stablecoin is real. It's going to handle all of the world's transactions, and XRP charges a small fee. Bitcoin cannot do that. That's crypto. Ethereum cannot do that. That's crypto. And so I don't own crypto coins. I own cryptography that has real world use
Dang,
case that involves um, it evolves us to the new world.
that's it.
It it evolves us to the new world. Like I said, no more purchasing of little children on the black market. There's everything's transparency. So I don't really own, like, I don't guess, the meme coins and stuff like that, the crypto coins that you hear and this is the great divide. And I am
Ooh.
and God Frequency would tell you, this is the divide that I have been fighting from many of crypto influencers, because they cannot see beyond the old guard not being in control. And I'm telling them, you keep thinking that technology is created because some man has a higher IQ than you. No, there's beings that are handing out certain IQs, right? I mean, IQs. They're handing out the technologies right now. And so these technologies are to enhance civilization and evolve. Civilization's evolving. And all you have to do is look at birth rates. Look at the birth rates worldwide. And you'll see that there is an evolution that's pushing us into a new world. It's going to look different. And the technology, go watch, what's it called? Wakanda Forever. The
Mm-hmm.
technology's
Yeah, the
here.
technology. Yeah.
How are these things gonna I just have a few questions. How are these I don't want to be like the
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, we need balance.
No, no,
What's your
the
I don't
question?
mind. I
argumentative
don't mind
energy.
criticism.
But how are these things gonna benefit us?
Benefiting how?
Like, does it
let
does
me
it
let me let
does
me
it
say
ben
this. Let me interject. Because I know what you're asking, Rashad, and so let me see if I can try to bring some clarity to this. So basically, the whole thing that we're seeing now is a switch over to a new system, where, from my understanding, with some of these this technology, it will provide more autonomy as well as make you more of your own individual bank, with some of the
Absolutely.
right. Whereas the
Hmm.
system that we're presently under is centralized, meaning that it is controlled by a select group that has monopolized the system and created us very dependent upon it. Whereas this will create a way for you to trade your currency or trade your money. It opens up, it connects you. I think it opens the avenues. It opens up the road for you to be more in control of your finances, your wealth, your money, as opposed to putting it in a bank. Putting it, you are now the bank. Put it this way, as opposed to you
Hmm.
being put underneath a system that regulates you in your money or your dollars. This, in a way, puts it back onto you. You're the value system. You are in control of it. You are in control of where you buy, sell, and trade, as well as having complete transparency of everything that you do with it. I don't know if that help answers that a little bit or confuses you more.
Yeah, I would start at three places. The first place I love, when we talk about the Philippines, the people in the Philippines, they eat something called pong pong, which pong pong is um, chicken recleaned out of garbage. And the reason why they eat that way is because the U.S. dollar has oppressed them. So the U.S. dollar, Americans don't realize it, but
Mm-hmm.
the U.S. dollar has oppressed the entire world, especially when we look at Africa, especially the Congo, etc. So when we go interstellar with XLM, I'm already invested in a company called Souls Bank. This is quantum. This is quantum consciousness. This is a bank that they will be able to use solar panels, and money could be sent to them at the speed of light in their own currency, and they will be able to use it. And I'm talking about in villages, whatever. So Americans don't understand that majority of the world has zero access to a monetary system. This changes all of that.
Right. Yeah.
Billions of people are going to get access to money. And,
Will,
and that's why they're fighting over Africa right now. Secondly, when we see the drug cartels, we see what's going on with the money in the future. You know, if you steal for somebody, if you blackmail someone, or you're doing all these things with drugs, whatever, the money, the quantum consciousness is going to know what you did.
will debt still exist?
You talking about like a Dex?
Debt,
DEBT.
DEBT.
Yeah, debt. Like
Will debt still exist?
Debt in a sense. Once it's reset, I think that you're going to we're going to see some form of universal basic income, because a lot of people are not getting to the switch, and they're going to handle it the best way they can. But there is a battle. There's a Star Wars going on, but we won. We
this
won.
is this
We won.
this leads me to this question. When you
Okay.
said about debt, Rashad, because it said, there's this thing going on about what is it? Our
The
birth
Jubilee,
certificate. What'd you say, please?
the Jubilee,
Yes, the year of Jubilee. That's forgave.
Right. That, but no, but that's true.
2025.
No, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this thing about we're all have this money connected to our birth certificates.
Your
So all things are
SBQ.
already paid for.
Hmm.
Right. And so is this a part of, like, what happens with that? Does that change over? Do we get that all that money that's these bonds that they have on us, right? This
Oh, yeah. They call that Nasar Jasar, where they give it
Yeah,
back to them.
right.
That
So
that's
that's what they.
connected. Yeah,
Mhm,
Nasar Jasar is connected to your SBQ accounts,
that's
and
what I'm
mhm,
talking about. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, that's supposedly where your UBI is supposed to be coming from.
can I?
mhm. I don't
Can I?
talk a
Um,
lot
Go ahead.
about
Hold
that,
on.
but
Go
yeah,
it's
ahead,
there.
Rashad. What was your
yeah, but
question?
it's definitely there.
Mhm.
I just got a few questions. I mean, I don't. I haven't really studied into this stuff as much as y'all have on in in depth as much as you, but just from what I've heard and from what I see spiritually in these times, I know that there's such thing as out of the frying pan
Hmm.
into the fire. And whenever I hear people talk about cryptocurrency, cryptography, however you want to put it, me personally, I don't trust neither one of them. I don't trust the concepts of any of it, and I feel like we're making it to a point where we have the opportunity as a collective consciousness to let go of all these things that aren't real and get back to nature and get back to the things that are real, get back to the most high, get back to trade and barter, no debt,
Hmm.
none of that stuff, no worries. And what we're and when we have this opportunity to do that, and these people are creating something that's opposite of that, but it looks like that. So now instead of us going to what we're supposed to go to, they're going to give us the opportunity to feel like we're getting into a spiritual level, but we're not. We're getting into the system. Now, I believe
Mm.
etymology is always the key to everything, right? So all this crypto stuff, my first thing that I do is I say, what does crypto mean? Right? Cryptocurrency, cryptography, whatever the case may be. Let's go into the etymology of crypto. And then crypto says hidden, concealed, secret, right? Cool. I get it. But what it said that made me say this is interesting because you're talking about not being a part of the system with this cryptocurrency, but as soon as you get into it, it is an abstract noun, crypto, person who conceals a political adherence. right? So the cryptocurrency could be a the concealing of political adherence, where it seems like you're free, but you're not.
Oh, that was some good ass tea. Let us know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, baby. Make sure you try some of MahMah Tea's wellness blends today.